chillin', serial killing, pre-core villains on the mic, got you reeling. 5-star rated from the floor to the ceiling. If you catch a 1-star, no time for feelings. Got a demon DJ on the ones and twos, by the name Beelzebub, so don't get confused. So grab a seat by the fire, roast them all over two, and prepare to hear the legend of the strange chilling crew.
What up, nerds, and welcome to another Werewolf episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for this evening. This is episode 560, recorded on Sunday, December 28th, 2025. Tonight, we are talking about the winner of the December poll, which is The Wolf of Snow Hollow. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, we got your boy, Randyzel. What's up, Randy?
We're just normal men.
What's going on, baby? I'm kind of bummed. I'm in the afterglow of Christmas over here, so you know, one more ball drop, and then it's just drudgery for a few months.
I'm in the pre-glow of that ball dropping, and man, I love it. Let me tell you.
I know how you love balls dropping, Bob, but some of us need a little more. Okay.
Speaking of needing a little more, last but not least, calling in from Florida, we got Shaboy Soju. What's up, man?
Oh, what up? It's your boy Alpha Stains. Boys, I'm back.
Calling in from whence you came.
Don't worry, boys. Your alpha leader is back.
I was worried.
I never abandon you, boys. There's two things I'll never do in my life: abandon you, boys, and wipe my own asshole. So don't you worry.
Because then you're gay.
Wow.
Exactly.
I will not submit myself to the homosexual agenda by wiping my own asshole.
Alphas don't abandon their Sigmund and Lambda boys, and they don't wipe their own ass.
I hire a man to wipe my ass. That's how straight I am.
I have someone for that. His name's Rick. He's very gentle.
He's got soft hands. It's great. I love it. Let me tell you. Highly recommend.
That's how I know I'm a straight man.
Welcome to Alpha Cast. All alpha, all day. We're doing
Surprise, motherfucker.
This is like the third. I can't remember, second or third like Alpha Cast of the year. We're potentially talking about werewolves, anyways.
Yeah, we got a lot of wolf talk this past year.
Yeah, big wolf energy on this here podcast.
Oh yeah,
can't stop, won't stop. Can't do it. If you're a beta listening, take notes. We're going to tell you what you need to do. We're going to tell you. Boys, last episode of...
But not right now.
Later.
Wait, you gotta wait.
You gotta wait till
the end.
The last 5 minutes is when you get the secret.
Yeah, but don't fast forward, because then you're a
don't
beta.
fast forward.
You can't fast forward.
You can't.
No.
Only
if you go...
Alpha's finish, let me tell you.
And fast.
This is the last episode of the year, boys, rounding out 2025. Can't believe it. We've been doing this for a whole nother year. Holy crikey. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we spent up our 4 good months, boys. Now we gotta wait.
Yeah, now it's just sadness.
Just shitty months.
Just cold, gray bullshit.
Just Arbor Day ass holidays.
Arbor ass day.
Arbor ass days.
So, yeah, we're talking about The Wolf of Snow Hollow, which takes place between Christmas and New Year's Eve. So, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Before we get into the review, though, we do have some housekeeping real quick. Here is your final reminder. Our January poll is currently posted over on our Patreon website. If you guys support us at the $5 level or above, you get the chance to vote on a movie we're talking about this January. The theme for January is just movies that we missed throughout the year of 2025. We got 6 brand new movies that came out this past year that we did not have time to get to. Those movies are Begonia, Companion, Dangerous Animals, Good Boy, The Toxic Avenger, and The Ugly Stepsister.
Whoa, Bob, for the final time. How are those numbers looking in 2025? Moving on, boys.
Whoa. Well, we got a three-way tie for last place now. 3 movies with 5% of the vote. Those are Good Boy, The Ugly Stepsister, and Dangerous Animals.
Damn.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Bugging
no.
idiot. Third place,
One vote apiece. Damn.
yeah, or 40 votes apiece.
Bleak.
Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Third place, sitting at third place, we got the Toxic Avenger with 10% of the vote. Second place, Companion with 35% of the vote. Still sitting in first place, Begonia with 40% of the vote.
Hey, not so much higher than Companion, though.
Yeah, those actually throughout this week, those have been like tying and breaking over and over. I think people are changing their votes a little bit. So
That's pretty surprising because Begonia has been stopping it for most of this month.
yeah,
It's been pretty stalwart.
yeah.
All right.
So yeah, this episode drops on New Year's Eve. So if you're listening to this, you still potentially have time to go cast your vote for this poll.
Did we do a mini cast on Begonia?
No, I don't believe
Well,
we
if that
did.
doesn't win, then that's what you're getting.
That's
First
because we're desperate for some mini casts right now.
We gotta record some mini cast.
Let me tell you.
I did not know.
So yeah, we're gonna have a brand new February poll posted a day after this podcast episode drops. So a February poll, I'll just go ahead and drop it. I'll let you know what it is. The theme for February is Bodacious Babes. February, if you're unaware, is Women in Horror Month. So we want to celebrate some fantastic female directors.
She was gorgeous.
Babes and horror.
Babes in Horror, Bodacious Babes. Actually, Randy, I'm not totally sure what your movie is. So unless you know, maybe we'll just not say what the movies are and we'll just leave it at the theme.
Let's just not. Let's just not.
All right. That's the theme.
Because I don't remember.
I forgot what I picked on. Oh,
Check,
no, I do remember. I do remember.
Check
That's a good one.
Patreon for those movies, those 3 movies.
But let me tell you, I picked the best one.
The best one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got mini cast dropping every other Friday, like we just mentioned. Your boy Soju recently just dropped one talking about The Long Walk.
Ooh.
Very uplifting flick.
The Long
man.
Walkman.
The longest Walkman.
It's like a triple decker. You can put 3 cassettes in there.
It's a 6 CD
or 3
changer.
CDs.
It's just-
Yeah, I can't remember
Whoa.
what Walkman does.
You can only
You can
fit it
listen
in
to
your-
upwards of 30 songs on this bad boy.
Whoa! I'm
Wow.
living the dream.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't know about that, boys. That was before my time. That was y'all's.
yeah.
You were strictly a Zune guy, as I recall.
Oh yeah, it's making a comeback, boys.
It's
coming.
Soon. God. Well, yeah, that's available for you over on Patreon right now. Speaking of Patreon news, we got a brand new Patreon supporter we got to give some shout outs to. Big, gigantic shouts outs to Shaboy Mike from New York, signing up on Patreon and showing us some love. Every dollar you guys contribute goes right back into the show. As is tradition around these here parts, we owe Mike from New York the straight chillin' salute. This one goes out to Mike.
Slap me in the ass.
Retroactively felt mean to use the Andrew Dice Clay. Whoa! After I found out this dude's from New York.
You're so alpha, Randy. You can't even deal with how alpha you are. You don't know.
I know.
I can't. Especially
Please don't
since I'm
try to
alpha.
contain me. You will only hurt yourself.
I can't deal with it. There can only be one.
Oh, we're just going to have to fight to the death on this episode here. Big thanks, Mike.
Right on schedule.
We do appreciate your support, man. This is
Thanks, bud.
the last bit of Patreon news here. This is your final reminder. We are reopening the You Pick the Flick tier on January 1st. This is the only way for you to outright pick a movie for us to review on the show. We're reopening this. There's only 5 spots available on January 1st. And we're not going to reopen it again until June of next year. So this is all you get for the first 6 months. We're going to open it at an undisclosed time of day. You just got to check our Patreon website throughout the 1st. And if you see it, grab a spot.
Yeah, no, I'm living in a nightmare.
And
12:01.
yeah.
Right after the ball drop.
Oh, God, go, refresh, go.
120004.
Yeah.
That's a lot of zeros.
I don't know if that's what time is really like.
That's
But,
what it is when you break it down past a second.
Randy.
No,
you're-
can't do that. The seconds.
Y'all
the
know what
smallest
time. You know how
Randy.
time works.
I know that
Seconds are
it's-
the only. There's no smaller amount of time than a second.
It's a flat circle, Randy. That's what I know.
Okay, all right, okay. Mobius strip ass motherfuckers over here don't know about microseconds.
I know it's a construct, and since I'm so alpha, I don't actually
Alphas
experience
don't
time.
measure micros, Randy. Okay,
They just measure
don't like
their
to use
micro
that word.
cocks.
That's an offensive word around the Alphaville, Randy.
Count
Very
time
sensitive about their micro cocks. Okay.
in macroseconds, Randy. All right, huge, giant seconds.
We don't use the M word around here, Randy. Okay, some of our members are a little sensitive about
A little
that.
touchy
in an alpha way.
in a
That's,
very alpha way.
That's all I got. That's all I got. You guys have anything you need to plug?
Not a damn thing, man.
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
Well, this house is clean.
This house is clean.
All right, let's get into the main event. We're talking about the Wolf of Snow Hollow, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Bob, it looked like you threw that box up there. All right.
Oh,
That's an approved purchase right there.
Boom. It's
wow! Rubber
soju
stamp.
approved. Nice.
I need to get a special stamp that I can,
Oh yeah.
I'll just AI it.
Oh yeah. You're not gonna get me to do it. I
Yeah.
can tell you that much.
Yeah. fuck it. We'll just AI it. Yeah, this is on Blu-ray. It's pretty easy to come by. Warner Brothers put this one out. It was on Shudder for a while. It might still be there, but you can stream it. You can rent it. Pick it up on Blu-ray. It's really easy to find this one. The Wolf of Snow Hollow from 2020, rated R with a runtime of an hour and 25 minutes. This was written and directed and starring Jim Cummings. This man is all over this movie. This is also starring Ricky Lindholm. This is the sad to say the last film Robert Forster was ever in before he passed. This also has Chloe East, Will Madden, Annie Hamilton, handful of other folks. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. Terror grips a small mountain town as bodies are discovered after each full moon. Losing sleep, raising a teenage daughter, and caring for his ailing father, Officer Marshall struggles to remind himself there's no such thing as werewolves. Gentlemen, have you seen this movie before, and would you recommend folks at home check it out? Rand Diesel, kick us off.
Total first time watch for me. I get this confused with what is it? Werewolves Within, the one with Sam Richardson and stuff. I get those. I've forever gotten these two movies confused, so I wasn't entirely sure if it was that movie or this one that I was watching when I put it on. Would I recommend? Yeah, I think so. I think I would recommend this. I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm still parsing it. I watched it just today, so I do think it's worthy of some watches though. So I'll leave it at that.
All right. Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I would recommend people check this out. I watched this. It's not my first time watch. I watched it a couple years ago. I think when I was compiling my Christmas list, my Christmas horror list. I think that's probably the first time I watched it. So 2 or 3 years ago for the first time. And I was very pleasantly surprised at that time. And so I was excited to rewatch it. And it held up. Again, it was another great watch. So yeah, I would recommend people check this out. I think it's a hidden gem for sure. So yeah, check it out. Bob, how about you? When'd you get that box? When'd you watch this guy? Would you recommend it?
When I watch this guy. Yeah,
When you watch that guy.
It's like my third viewing of this, I think. And yeah, I would totally recommend this one. It's good Christmas vibes. Like I said, it's good New Year's Eve vibes as well. Some light wolf action, maybe not. Yeah, it's just a really solid,
What's a light wolf?
solid movie. You know,
Light wolf.
light wolf.
They called me Light Wolf.
Step lightly. Yeah, I think this is definitely worth checking out, though. If you haven't seen it, change that. Sounds like a general recommend from the straight.
That seems like a pretty tight recommend to me.
Pretty tight. Oh yeah, that's a nice tight recommend there.
It's got a tight recommend.
Yeah. And you know, if you're listening to the show on New Year's Eve and you haven't seen this movie, pause this, watch it, come back and finish the show.
And then wait for the Patreon to drop.
You just have a straight chilling day.
Just sit
And then
there
send
and
us your
wait.
bank account information and social security number.
Yeah.
And some nudes.
5
too.
Apple
Go ahead and
TV
do
gift
that.
cards.
Send your nudes to Juice.
Definitely, yeah.
Specifically send them to Juice.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Soju the man
We all
needs to
agree.
see them micrococks, my people.
He
Well,
lives
Randy, I
off
told you about that word, micro. Okay, we can't use that around here.
Well, check this movie out. This is one that you probably don't want to have spoiled for you. I'll go ahead and say that.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. So we are going to be spoiling the shit out of this movie, and here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
Whoa,
Hey-o.
I know you guys missed me last week, so I'm getting, a little extra in there. Bob, you got that plot synopsis for us?
Yeah, I got that macro plot synopsis. It's
Bob,
long. It's long.
It's got to be
huge.
macro. Thank you.
Macro.
Okay.
Big old doinks.
Big old doinks and Amish.
Macro doinks.
Macro doinks here, buddy.
Is that the best bump we have? Maybe. Big old doinks. All right. Yeah, here goes the plot synopsis for The Wolf of Snow Hollow. This story takes place in the small town of Snow Hollow, Utah. We see a woman get murdered and her mangled body is discovered with a paw print in the snow next to her. The struggling alcoholic deputy sheriff, John Marshall, is called to the scene. He discovers her genitalia and other body parts are missing. Next up, a snowboarding instructor is killed, and there's some wolf fur found on her body. The press starts saying there's a killer wolf about, and John starts drinking again due to the stress of the situation. The townsfolk become paranoid and flood the police with tips, including one of a strange encounter with a very tall man at a diner. To add to John's stress, his father, Sheriff Hadley, is diagnosed with a heart murmur, but he refuses to slow down at work or seek additional medical attention. Later that night, the woman who reported the tall man and her 3-year-old are killed. John begins researching werewolf lore. A curfew is also imposed, and Hadley finally seeks treatment due to another episode with his heart. At night, John's daughter, Jenna, sneaks out to see a boy, and they're attacked in an SUV. John shows up and shoots the creature, but it escapes and ends up killing a deputy. Hadley dies from a heart complication, and John spirals. A man is found dead in a camper from a heroin overdose who is believed to be the killer due to his height. He also owns a pet wolf, and a body is found in his backyard. John begins returning evidence to civilians because the case is now considered closed. Officer Julia is notified that a seam ripper was mistakenly returned to the wrong person. She deduces it must be used for taxidermy. Taxidermy.
That's taxidermy in Germany, of course.
Taxidermy. And then she thus concludes it belongs to a man named Paul Carnery, who practices taxidermy. I'm going to keep saying it. Taxidermy in town. She heads that way as John visits Paul as well to return his things. Paul seems eager about the case and asks John about his daughter. Details about John's daughter were not disclosed to the public, and when John realizes this, he asks Paul to stand up to his full height. He does, revealing he's much taller than he presents. John chases after
Surprise,
Paul.
motherfucker.
And Paul ends up stabbing him in the stomach and lifts him up off the ground. As sirens approach, Paul puts on a homemade wolf costume and flees the scene. Officer Julia shoots Paul, and John shoots him several more times in the head as fireworks explode. Julia becomes the new sheriff in town, and she and John move young Jenna into her new college dorm. As John leaves, he overhears students making sexual comments about gymnasts staying in the dorm. He almost engages with them, but decides to just let it go. Roll them credits.
All right.
I practice
for a bump
taxidermy personally.
Taxidermy.
Personally,
That's where I'm going on vacation this summer. Taxidermy.
you're gonna get stuffed.
That's what I'm looking forward to, Bob.
You got me and stuffed me, boys. Woo. Yeah, so this movie is a really interesting take on a werewolf movie. It's like kind of unlike any werewolf movie I can think of, where it's sort of it starts off as a whodunit. You don't really know if there is a serial killer in town or if there is a werewolf running around. And it, like, in the first act, straight up shows you this giant ass werewolf creature, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
tight. So this is like a legit werewolf movie.
Yeah.
And as it sort of unfolds, it pulls the rug out from under you with that reveal where you see it's just a really tall dude dressing up in this really well-crafted taxidermy costume. Yeah, precisely.
Well, that's something that comes up because it is a whodunit and you're following along with the police investigation. So it's got that angle in it. And that is a question that keeps coming up where it's specifically one of the police officers, throws it out there like, oh, werewolf and stuff. And of course, like the head, or not the head sheriff, but our main guy, our main protagonist, he shoots it down immediately. But then it kind of keeps coming up and he keeps thinking about it. I think it's interesting. I think one of the things about this movie that really makes it shine for me is these characters. I think they're very, very interesting, nuanced characters. And I think that they are portrayed really well. I wasn't aware, Bob, you had brought it up, that the main guy is also the director who also wrote it.
Yeah.
So good
Yeah, I found that out after the fact.
His birthday is October 31st, too. By the way, I just pulled up his IMDb.
Pumpkins.
Nice.
I know. Yeah.
Pumpkins.
But when I thought about this film before I rewatched it, this main character is something that stuck out in my mind. But when I was like watching it again, I was like, it's not. He's just a very interesting, nuanced character. He's like written really well. He's not perfect by any means. He's quite flawed. And he's got a lot of positive things about him and he's got a lot of negative things about him. But I just think it all works really well to make an interesting character that is like the lines are like delivered really well. Like I don't know. I really, but not just him too. I like the woman police officer who ultimately becomes the sheriff.
Yeah.
And even the dynamic with the daughter, I think, works really well. The characters here really sell this
and his dad
movie for
too.
me. And his dad, like just all the relationships work really well, but really kind of to build up this character for me. It's just so very, very fun to watch. I think that's the highlight for me.
I think I did end up liking the majority of that stuff, but like by about the midpoint of this movie, I was not sure that I liked this main actor, like, which turned out to be the writer and director. I did not know that at the time, but it was like it felt ham-fisted, and I wasn't sure how intentional that was. I get the impression now that it was a little more intentional than I was ready to give it credit for in those moments. But his character's like it's a very strange performance. I think it's just maybe just not one that we're used to, where it's kind of hard to read what he's thinking in certain moments. I don't know. I had a hard time with him for a while, where like I wasn't sure. Okay, is he drinking? Is he not? Like, because the way that they sort of like the way this movie is shot and edited is so interesting, and like that part was like the standout for me more than the acting or the characters. Was like how things like scenes bled into each other, even as far as the title sequence and stuff. Like scenes just kind of like oozed into each other, creating this weird sort of like fluid timeline and feel. And I really did like that, but it made it harder for me to understand exactly where that character, who is so central to everything, is coming from for a while there. And for a majority of the film, I was still trying to like pinpoint exactly what I was supposed to be taking away from his performance, other than, man, this guy fucking sucks. Like so much of his characterization is just like, here's a guy that's like crashing out in big, spectacular, painful ways for his family. Like when his daughter is attacked, and she's like, you didn't even ask if I was okay. He screams at her and he complains about what his mother's going to say.
Damn.
Like, what the fuck kind of shit-heel behavior is that? That goes beyond being drunk. That's something else entirely. That's you being a fucking punk-ass bitch.
Extremely flawed. But he's played in an interesting enough way where, like, you can tell he really does care about these people. He loves these people in his life. He's just a fucking flawed dude who's like
so hyper defensive about fucking everything.
He's emotionally immature.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That's his thing. Is like, but that's what's really interesting about it, because there are some like better people in here, but also too the setting too of the small town. I think it helps develop this a little bit more, because I love the nuance of it, the time he spends with his daughter, with his dad in closed spaces. You know, you could tell how insecure he is. The whole sheriff aspect and like trying to be a leader, he's just not capable of it. He's really bad at it. It feeds into his insecurity. He also has anger management problems. He's like so flawed, but I think that those flaws are portrayed really well, because I remember the first time watching, again, questioning, like, do I like this guy? Is this guy like annoying to me? Is it really hard for him to follow him as a main character? But I think that's what makes it very interesting, is because you get those personal moments behind the scenes, and you know that he does like really care, like he is trying his best. And I think, I don't know, I just find it very interesting. I think it's just an interesting character.
Yeah, it's interesting to like look back on. I'm sorry, Bob.
I think they do kind of like whenever he's researching the werewolf lore and stuff, and he's talking about that one like hilarious line where he's talking with the female cop Julia, or is that his daughter's name? I forget the female cop.
Ricky Lundholm.
Yeah, Detective Julia. Yeah, they're in the car, and he's like, "Yeah, I was researching all this werewolf lore," and he's like, "I found out this date. It goes all the way back to like the 17th century or whatever." He says, and it's like these dudes that were just like really dealing with their own anger and their own issues, and they were just lashing out at women, and like they would blame it on wolves.
Why is women? It's been going on since the Middle Ages.
He's like, "Do you think women have been dealing with this since the Middle Ages?" And she gives him this fucking cutting look,
dude. So many times. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, he's like doing that in his own life while they're also trying to catch this murderer, you know, that's doing the same kind of stuff. It's just like that moment, I think, encapsulates this movie so well. He's exhibiting these things that he's reading about, and he has no idea that he's doing it. He's just sort of like blinded by his own like insecurities and also just like drive. I think, you know, he's trying to do his best, but he just doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing.
I think that's right. Like, this is the thing, is like repeatedly, it's not just that moment. There's like multiple moments in this film that are exactly like that, right down to Ricky Lindholm giving him the what the fuck eyes afterwards, where he's exhibiting like a shocking level of naivete about what he's saying, and he seems to realize it only moments after he says it because of the look he's been given. You know what I mean? Like, there's so like, that's like somebody who is both insecure and hyper confident in whatever words happen to be spilling out of his mouth at any given moment, and that does to me reek of like some toxic thinking, and it does seem like something in line with what somebody who is addicted and falling down a spiral might behave. But in the moment when those things are introduced, I'm like, this guy can't be our main character, right? Like, what's going on with this guy? Like,
yeah, it's so much more interesting that he is flawed, I think, than if he was just like this perfect, you know, like do-gooder guy who just.
But it's also a kind of flawed that I don't think we see done. Yeah. It's this like chaotically.
It's like
very
unflinchingly like difficult to watch him. Like it stares down the barrel of his addiction in a way that I think most movies wouldn't necessarily have.
It's not just him like pondering deeply over a half-empty bottle and looking mournful.
I mean, he chugs a bottle of mouthwash and then like falls into his oven door and it shatters and like it's
Dude.
And it's not even just that either, though. It's also like these things where he's just like exhibiting like completely shoot from the hip chaotic behavior. If anybody says anything other than what he wants to hear in any given moment in his job, he just takes whatever little authority he has and just freaks the fuck out and makes them shit. Like he fires people like for no reason, or for like at the drop of a hat. And I cut you off, Juice. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and that's the thing too, is because it's so easy to hate him and then feel bad for him sometimes too. Like with the daughter, like she carries him up the stairs and she's like, "Dad, just go to bed." And he like throws the water bottle.
It's so hard to watch.
That was the scene where I was like really like, okay, I think I got this guy down now. This is a guy who is like, all of these things, they're not just like character flaws. It's a spiraling effect where every character flaw feeds into the other and it creates a fucking cyclone of chaotic, destructive behavior. And now his own daughter is crying as he breaks her mirror in her room as he's like too drunk to function. And he's
After she carried his ass up the stairs.
She also like therapizes his, like, I think the first conversation we see them have, she goes up to her bedroom to see if she still has like the mace that he gave her, and she like, you know, pivots the conversation because clearly her father's going through a lot of shit, and she's like, do you think maybe this has something to do with like your own relationship with your father? And he's like, why are you changing the subject? And just
his mother.
His mother.
And that's another thing, is like we get little tidbits of things like that, which I part of me is like God, I want to know more about his relationship with his mom. It seemed like she abandoned him. We know that, like, but we don't know under the circumstances. He calls himself an asshole. He's like, I am an asshole. And I like that moment, that's when he's spinning out in her bed. I was like, so what? Like, was his abandonment issues revolve around his mom calling him an asshole? Is this tie? How closely does this tie into? Like, we just don't know all of the details of his past, and it turns out we don't need to. So I'm happy with the restraint at the end of things, but in the moment I was like so fucking curious about these things, and they don't spend a lot of time digging into those. Even his relationship with his dad, it seems like the main thing that exists to do is to show like two men that are pathologically pursuing what they consider to be their most useful state. And even at the expense of their own health or the health of their families. That seems to be the common thread amongst those two men. And I think that like watching his father die from that, rather than being a wake-up call, just sends him further down a pipeline he's already tripping down.
Well, and I also think, so to go in like with the emotional aspect of it, I actually think it really balances the comedy really well too, especially for a film that's got a lot of kind of like drama, emotional things going on here. It's also quite dark. I mean, a woman and her baby are killed, but to talk about this guy who has this situation, we talked about the daughter and her begging him to like go to sleep as he's drunk and can't function and stuff like that. But like the moment when he fucking uses his daughter's fingerprint. Okay, so we have this roller coaster. So he saves his daughter, and you're like, "Oh, thank God he saved her." Then he's a huge asshole to her. He takes her to the hospital. Then he uses her fingerprint to open her phone. You're like, fuck this guy. Then he like goes over to that dude's house. And that shit is so funny how the mom is just like stomping on his face and he's got this shitty mask. Like he's so incapable. Yeah. But it's so funny because like, but then
pepper sprays her own kid.
Pepper sprays the shit out of him and her own kid, and then they realize who it is, and she's just like, and then he just fucking. What did you do? But then he goes back to the hospital and is like,
his looks fucked up
and terrible.
That's the moment.
Yeah, his dad dies. Yeah. So you're like,
while he was out performing that,
and you feel bad for him because you have seen him interact with his dad. You know, and he was so adamant about insisting that his dad go get help, so you feel bad for him too. It's like a really amazing balance.
Yeah, it's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah,
that is an amazing scene, and it is a roller coaster. I think that is, again, like, it's about the addiction. It's like this is a guy who's desperately trying to wrest any kind of control he can. He doesn't have the information he needs to solve the crime that's the center of his world. He can't keep his daughter safe or keep her loving him. He can't keep his ex-wife off of his back. He can barely get his father to go in a seat to the fucking hospital or even admit that he has any sort of health issues. He can't control shit, and he is spiraling out hard because of that. And the only thing he knows to do in response to that is to take whatever new piece of information he has and just follow it all the way to the hilt without thinking and hope to God that it turns out for the best. Just knowing, like, with an innate drunken confidence that breaking into this kid's house and assaulting him and pushing on his mom down the stairs or some shit to get to him is somehow the best use of his time, instead of sitting with his ailing father and daughter in the fucking hospital. That's fucking psychotic, drunken behavior. In retrospect, it all fits very perfectly, but the experience of it is so whiplashy.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why the second watch for me was so rewarding, because, like I said, one of the big things that I remembered was that the wolf was not a wolf, and that this character with such a roller coaster of like, do I hate him? Do I feel bad for him? But ultimately landing on like, he was very interesting just an interesting character to think about and an interesting character to follow. And so watching it again, I found it kind of equally rewarding because I had already reflected on it after my first watch and was just kind of curious to experience it again and to a point where I knew where it ultimately ended up. And I think it's a really interesting character that written in that way, and the balance, I think it's well made too. I think knowing that this guy wrote it and acted it out and directed it, I think all of those mesh really well. I think he really kind of like honed that character in through these different ways.
It feels like he's pulling from maybe some lived experience here, because it does feel is like as kind of like chaotic and bombastic as this movie can seem in certain moments. It feels like very tightly written. It feels like he has such a clear vision of who this character is, and it feels like very real. It like real and unflinching, and that's like a difficult thing to write and portray, I would assume. And he does it with like such like confidence. Like it's like he really knows who this person is, and like maybe a personal real life kind of way perhaps, but it's really interesting to watch him play it. And I love how he has like such deadpan moments, and like some of the like dry little quips that he drops are like in between these like just tense difficult moments to watch, and then just throws these little quips in there that are so fucking funny, dude. I just love the performance in general,
and they for the most part all serve the character. Like another example of him being completely obliviously naive for some reason is when they get beamed with the beer bottle, and the like Ricky Lindholm's like, he was like, what was that? And she goes, beer bottle. I was like, who would want to throw a beer bottle in a cop car? Yeah. And she just looks at him, and I'm thinking, this movie was released in 2020.
Yeah. Who would want to throw a beer bottle at a cop car?
Interesting, Matt. It's just like fucking insane that like how anybody could be an officer and think that way is mind blowing. And obviously it's just built on his character just being that naive and ridiculous. I don't know. I really love all that stuff. I think that the editing and all that stuff, it's so interesting and so it's pretty novel in my opinion, or at least it felt novel and really well done and really seamless for the most part. To the point though where like there were some things that were strange, like some of the score I thought was a little bit like over the top in a bad way. Like there was one part in particular, one montage, and I don't remember exactly what was happening, but the fucking score, which I almost never comment on the score unless it's like really great or really distracting, and this was just the latter. It was just like dun dun dun, like just like metal on metal kind of sounding shit, and just like driving this, and it was just so overbearingly loud, and like it seemed like it was kind of going comedic a little bit, which this movie kind of veers wildly between comedic, as we've talked about, comedic and dramatic. And I was just not feeling it. And Beck walked in that moment and like looked at the screen for about 10 seconds. Is like, is this a real movie? And turned and asked me that question. I was like, yeah, it is. It's good. Like, it was pretty early in the movie, so I was like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it yet, but yeah, it is. It felt like cheaper than the rest of the movie somehow, and like I think it was probably an intentional comedic play, but it didn't necessarily play that way to my ears. And a lot of that had to do with the soundtrack of that moment. If it had been just a more typical montage, I feel like I would have been more focused on what was happening instead of that. Anyway, so yeah, just to add some critique to that.
The editing, the moments that I really notice when it comes to the editing, where like after somebody's been murdered, it would show scenes of their funeral, but like it would intercut scenes from like the fallout of their murder, whether it be
like say that too, yeah.
Like everything all happens at once.
Jim talking to the mother of whoever was killed, or like being chewed out by a townsfolk.
The father like trying to get at him,
and like cutting back and forth between the funeral and just like the chaos that he's about to endure, and it's like that ramps the tension up like so effectively each and every time there's a murder. Instead of just like showing the kill, it then just has like this crescendo that puts me on the edge of my seat anyway. You're like, oh my god, like this, it feels like the pot's boiling, it's getting higher and higher, and it's about to boil over. It's really effective editing, to your point, Randy, bringing that stuff up.
And I thought it added to the sympathy of the character too.
Yeah.
He's like, you understand his perspective of like feeling helpless. They even go through the thing like he is desperate to catch this guy, and part of it is ego, part of it is he really does care, and that's the delicate balance of it. It's like he's not just doing this. It's not pure ego. He doesn't do it just to be to get the praise of the town people. Like it's really affecting him.
But also, like the way he behaves, especially with his daughter and stuff. It's clear that he is he's doing it partially because he has a daughter he's worried about too. But then when his daughter's actually assaulted, his concerns are with his job and with his relationship with his ex and shit. He it just, there are times where it really veers into the territory of being like, I don't know if I really trust that this guy's. Sometimes it felt like he is too concerned with the job, more concerned with the job than with his family. I think that's clearly intentional, but it's hard for me to work back at, it's hard for me to walk that back and say like after the fact, see him talk to his daughter again and it feel like it's a good relationship again. It's like, how do you come back from this as a father and daughter? How do you come back from this as a family where you are sitting there bleeding on the ground, needing to go to the hospital, and your dad's like, God, your mom's gonna give me hell for this, and desperately trying to decide whether or not it's worth taking his daughter to the hospital or going and chasing down this person. Both are important things, but it's your fucking daughter. If you're not willing to prioritize that, then you are too focused on the fucking task, the job. That is an ego thing. I don't know. So I think that it is again another point of chaos that lends itself to this story that would be completely hard to watch in any other context. It's, I don't know. It makes for an interesting viewing, I guess, is the long and short of it.
One flaw that I had with it both times, and I didn't remember that it was a flaw, but then when it happened again, I was like, oh yeah, because I thought maybe, or by the second time it happened, I was like, okay, this wasn't just the first time then, is how it all kind of pans out. So the guy who ultimately is the wolf, the killer, do we ever see him before, or is that the very first time? Yeah.
Well, I don't think we see his face.
We don't see his face. He's in the diner.
But we see him.
I know he's in the diner.
Off camera, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way that they shoot it, okay. I'm glad that's the way that they shoot it, and the way it kind of comes together. Where the guy calls, he's like, "Hey, there's this thing." And I don't think we'd ever seen that before.
It feels like a missed setup.
Yeah, it feels like we missed a couple steps, or some scenes were cut. It feels like 10 minutes is cut from this film where the guy who ultimately the killer should have been.
What is he returning to this guy?
Somewhere.
We don't know. We don't
These
are the things
what is he returning to that guy?
Just evidence that he that's the thing, is we don't know. And I guess there's an argument to be had there. I feel the same way as you do, where I'm like, I don't understand. This guy kind of comes out of nowhere and whatever. Yeah. But also, there is kind of a lead into that I noticed, which is when they're talking, but it's not direct, it's indirect, where they're talking about how he and Ricky Lindholm were talking about well, we'll catch this guy, we'll catch him, they always screw up. It's always them that screw. And he's like, yeah, it's always them that screws up. And that is kind of what happens, is it lands in their lap or it doesn't. And that's kind of true with a lot of serial murder situations.
Just weird because the way he's talking to this guy makes it seem like we've seen him before.
Yeah,
it's not
he's returning evidence.
Yeah.
What evidence?
Yeah.
What is it? We needed to see those pieces at least one time before. They needed
and the
to be
taxidermy stuff. They the big clue that Ricky Lindholm figures out was the seam splitter or whatever, that tool, and her also seeing the thick taxidermy thread and taxidermy books in the evidence in his research in Jim Cummings' research as the detective. So he's researching taxidermy. Somehow there's a taxidermist from whom they've gotten evidence, and it takes him returning the evidence after crashing out in order to put together this might be his guy.
Well, no, it wasn't until he didn't put it together until he said something about his daughter.
Yeah.
No,
so
that's
he
true.
said,
Well, yeah,
how's your daughter doing?
Yeah.
But that wasn't a public thing or something. Yeah, something about. So that's where he slipped up or whatever. So
yes, he did screw up. But also it doesn't. That's a 1-on-1-2 situation. detective, for example, might see, if you're researching taxidermy, you must have some inclination to think, okay, maybe this is a costume. Why wouldn't I look at a taxidermist? And a taxidermist has provided evidence of some kind.
They did kind of set that up before. And I think they did. I mean, not really, because this is also a little too convenient for me, because they do set the other guy up where the guy is like, yeah, this guy died. He was literally half a mile or whatever from the original crime scene. Yeah. He's got a pet wolf. He's got a wolf tattoo. He's got a collection of like fancy fucking knives. And you couldn't even figure that shit out. So the incompetence to not put all the pieces together about a taxidermist.
I was going to ask about that, but he already was looking at the taxidermist before they discovered that guy, before that guy became...
That's the problem. We don't know what the evidence is.
We don't really know.
We don't know what the evidence is. This is not about the investigation. That's the thing this is the thing that's tripping me up. Is this movie sets itself out as an investigation into a potential werewolf string of killings, but that is not what it is at all. It is purely a character study, and that is the set dressing.
That's the problem.
To that end, I think that's interesting and cool, but it leaves something to be desired, because I still want to know I still want to know the nuts and bolts of it.
And I don't think it would have taken too much effort to. I honestly think like 5 to 10 minutes could have wrapped it up more.
Even if that guy showed up in the montage of people coming in and offering like bogus tips or whatever, that where we see the mother talk about, I met this tall guy or whatever. If they had shown like they showed a couple bits and bobbles from different people, if it showed like 3 seconds of him saying like, oh yeah, I found this like dumb bullshit that is not important, obviously, ha ha ha, big laugh for the montage, and then that's the guy later on, and what he was providing was an intentional mislead or just him trying to get close to the case or some shit. All of that could have been like, it doesn't take much, just a sprinkle, and I'm satisfied.
Also, to the whole thing to where he was like, do you mind standing up to your full height? And I was like, that's a weird thing to say. Who just walks around
just walking with a hunch?
Well, I think he noticed that he's like bending over through the door, and then next time he sees him, he's sitting the whole time.
But he had to walk into the house. I don't know.
Yeah, but he was already sitting. He left the door ajar and was like, "Come on in," and he goes and like he's sitting at the table when he comes in, or is sitting down to the table.
Yeah,
I do. I like that reveal, honestly, when he asked him to stand up to his full height,
he's so tall.
And then he just goes, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I
like that scene. Like once it plays out and he's in the wolf shit.
It's
like
a
I
little
love
Zodiac-y,
that.
but it feels that way in a way where it doesn't. It's impossible to predict because we've never seen this guy. We don't know dick about this guy.
Yeah,
so it's not like it's solvable.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it's not the point of the movie, and I get that, but if it's going to be so integral to the conclusion of the movie, to his fulfillment as a character, then I would like to see just a little bit more groundwork played out. I still don't even understand how, like, this guy that overdosed with the wolf tattoo and all this stuff, we see him multiple times. They say that they found a body in his backyard. They found
bodies,
but like, what body? Like, was that planted there? Like, what's
I think
what is the implication?
Being framed by the other guy. That's how I interpreted it.
Okay,
anyway.
I mean that makes sense, but we don't get anything besides us guessing that. Like,
yeah, true.
Especially too, who's got a pet wolf and a wolf tattoo, and like
it's
a little too convenient. You know what I'm saying? It's like, here is this another big ass dude who lives half a drug mile from the thing, who's got a pet wolf, who's got a wolf tattoo. It's like, okay, that's
a wolf tattoo, and who fucking ODs. Well, that's the thing. It's like he ODs and dies, and that's why they find things. So did the other guy, the tall guy, actually
plant
poison
some knives, or maybe poison? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
so that he would be like. So he would die, so the police would come, so they would find the body. If they had somehow implied that more directly, I would be like 100% fine.
If he was that local drug dealer too, or
it just leaves a lingering question that obfuscates, that I think draws my attention away from what the main actual thrust of the story is, and you know, that part is still intact. So it's just a distraction at this point, and that's a shame because it is the culmination of the movie at the same time.
Yeah. I love that chase scene out into the woods, though, as the fireworks are going off and they finally catch the guy.
Auld Lang Syne.
He's in the Auld Lang Syne.
That's great.
That whole scene is just fucking great. So I think, like, if I'm trying to recall the first time I watched this, which was a few years ago, like I probably was a little like, who the fuck is this guy? But then when it like really hits that high note with the reveal, I was like, man, that's fine. Like it was just a really satisfying chase scene at the end. I was like, man, that shit wraps up. You know?
Sorry.
No,
And another question though, like because from there we see they do the fucking hot fuzz thing where they pretend he's dead. Of course he's not dead. Ricky Lindholm is dropping his daughter off at college, and we think, oh man, her mom couldn't make it, so like, and her dad's dead, so Ricky Lindholm's dropping her off. And then it turns out he's alive. He's just seemingly not on the force anymore, whatever. And he says, I left you some protection. And she's like, oh my God, Dad. And then she looks in, and I expected her to find a gun or a pepper spray or something. And instead she finds just condoms like she suspected. And I was like, so what's... And then she looks kind of like wistfully towards the door. And it's like, it's just a strange scene. I don't know what it's trying to tell me about their relationship.
I think it's the emotional maturity of the father, because even then he hears the boys coming by and say like, ooh, fresh meat. And he's like going to react.
I think he
would scream at that kid at least. Yes.
I think he also left his father's belt buckle in her drawer. Because as he's walking
is that shown?
They don't show it, but as he's walking out, he's putting his belt back on. He's like, you see him like putting his belt on his pants, and the belt buckle is not on there. So you don't see it though. That's just what I'm.
I don't remember the belt buckle ever actually.
Oh like, yeah, he puts
did
it
that
on.
show up?
Yeah, his dad always wears this big chunky belt buckle, and you see him put it on after his dad passes away.
I guess I missed that entirely.
Yeah, that I don't know. Again, I'm just kind of guessing at that. We don't see it. But that's what I thought.
That's interesting. I mean, I feel like that of all things, like if that's true, I wish they would have hammered that just a little bit more. I don't need it dumbed down for me, but I would like it to. I would like the harmonies to really come together at the end. You know what I mean? They're setting this up, set it up well enough to where it's simple for me to be like, yes, it is. I can make that connection without like any post discussion necessary, like. Or any guesswork necessary, really, is the thing. So that's where I think this movie really like has some issues, is with that it doesn't always fully set things up in a way that it does it in a way that's like trying to conceal its tracks, but too well, maybe. Or I don't know. There's I just have a hard time with some of the plot points, really, and it sticks in my craw a little bit, I guess.
Give me that craw, damn.
My damn crawl.
In my damn crawl.
Gotta clean that crawl out, my guy.
I know. It's a filthy crawl.
There's also like just really again like they don't show it all a lot, but like some brutality to this. You know, it's all I think women dying. The scenes that they do of the wolf early on, I think, are pretty effective. It doesn't like look. It's like when you're looking like close, it's like a little janky, but they keep it hidden in the shadows. Yeah.
I think they treat it well. Yeah.
I think so too.
It's one of the better Wolfman like movies in general that I've seen, and the portrayal of the Wolfman, the hiding of it, the like what they do reveal, what they don't, and focusing primarily on the outcome of these attacks. It's just really, really smart way of making sure that your werewolf is actually scary instead of a prop. So yeah, I don't know. I like that about it too. I'm a very, very big fan of that thing. One other thing about the killer though is like he takes the first girl's vagina, he takes a woman's head, and he's a taxidermist, but they never say anything explicit about him doing a fucking taxidermy job, like Frankenstein's monstering up a wife or something, which is what I thought they were headed right towards. It's again left to implication. Like, what are his motivations? Why did he do those things?
Though, too. To be
I can be okay with it, but I'm deadly curious though. I just want to know.
You see his workshop, and the woman's head is like sitting on his table, like he's gonna do something with it. But that's enough for me. It really
is.
Kind of gnarly. Yeah, honestly, like we kind of kicked this year off with Lee Winnell's Wolfman, like a brand new Wolfman movie. Didn't quite land the plane on that. I think the wolf is treated in a way more interesting manner here. You see a lot less of it. Yeah, there was some like kind of interpersonal, like familial drama happening in that movie too. Actually,
Sure.
just I think it's a little more effective here. Kind
The
of.
acting was much worse than that.
Yeah. Woof.
Significantly worse.
Woof. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we're booking in the year with some wolf films, some alpha films. Wolfmang.
Oof.
Anything else you guys want to mention before we rate this bad boy?
I think I'm
that's
good.
good for me.
All right, well, let's do it. Rand Diesel, why don't you kick us off? Out of 5, how do you feel about The Wolf of Snow Hollow?
Yeah, I've pretty much, I think, exhausted what I have to say about this movie. I like it a lot. I think the chaotic start-stop, impulsive nature of the lead character is a little hard to watch, a little hard to follow, especially with such a unique blending editing style and stuff. But I think it really makes it like pretty haunting and interesting at the same time. So I can't hold it against it. I think it works to the benefit ultimately. Where I think it really, I'm left wanting is for some of those little nitpicking answers that I really want to have, even if it's not particularly needle moving for the real story at play here. If you're going to have your werewolf story, you might as well work in all of the detail, not all, but like a few more details so that you can flesh out the nuts and bolts of what it is he's actually chasing. But it doesn't harm the movie much more than just being a distraction and like a thing that's left open-ended that I kind of wish wasn't. Some of those details. Some of the music was not great. Some of it was great. The ending with I think it was "Oh Holy Night" and that leading into "Auld Lang Syne," some hymn, Christmas hymn leading into "Auld Lang Syne" in the final fight. The dynamic of Ricky Lindholm being clearly the clear heir apparent to being the sheriff, the level-headed, like sobering person versus the chaotic, absolutely by any definition not sober heir apparent that they have by way of family ties. Like I like that dynamic. I like the dynamic of the kid and the dad. It all works, I think, most of all as a character study. And I love a character study, so I'm into this movie. I think it's pretty fun, and I really, like I said, love the way that they portray the wolf. I like that there's a bit of a swerve with the wolf. I would have been happy kind of either way, I think, but it helps things make sense to me the way that they worked out, and that it turns out to be a little bit more of like a Zodiac than a true Wolfmang sort of thing. I liked it. I liked it a whole lot. I'm very fresh off of it, so there's a little recency bias here. Room to plummet, room to rise, but my feeling right now is a solid 4.
4 from Rand Diesel. Juice, how do you feel?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of in line with that. I really like this movie, but I think it's flawed. So I like the acting, I like the directing style. Sometimes I also found the music slightly distracting or not matching exactly what was going on, but sometimes I think it was strong, so I'm kind of split on that, like the fireworks scene and stuff like that. Ultimately, I think one of the biggest flaws on my second watch is that I feel like it's really easy to also make the ending feel more satisfying, and that like we got there a little bit more naturally, and to make it all make a little bit more sense. Like if we had seen this guy one more time before, if the tool had come up one more time before, like, what is this? Or them questioning it, or somebody else talking about the tool. If it was maybe a little bit more clear that this guy who's got a pet wolf was framed in some way. I think that would have been enough. I really think it would have taken less than 10 minutes to do all that thing, because even I think that they do a good job, like even just showing the guy in the wolf outfit just for a second with the head off, like it makes it all just crystal clear exactly what's going on, but then, yeah, he does have a really big knife too, and he stabs the guy, and I don't know why that other dude would have a bunch of knives too and have a wolf tattoo. Or if they were working together in some way. I don't know. It's just not tidy. I think that's really my biggest critique of this. But yeah, I think it's an interesting, fun watch, and it's just a movie that I just don't really see talked about or brought up much. And it's Christmas vibes. So it's a good Christmas horror film, I think. And good winter watch too. So yeah. I think I'll echo that. I think I'll give it a 4 as well. Bob, how are you feeling out of 5?
I feel pretty good about this one. It's just so difficult to make a werewolf movie in general. And to make a really, really effective one like this on what appears to be fairly limited resources, my hat's just kind of off to the filmmaker here, especially knowing that he wrote, directed, and starred in it as well. Like, it's just really difficult to do all of that at a fairly high level here. And when you do get the wolf, it looks really impressive. I don't know that I've seen like a werewolf movie played out as a whodunit like this before. Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I like that sort of genre hybrid here. The main character is just a really interesting, flawed guy. Some great performances. It does deliver on the Christmas vibes and the New Year's Eve vibes, which I feel like New Year's Eve horror is kind of hard to come by too. That reveal at the end when the dude stands up is it's just great. It's just really, really great. I think this is just like a really like unflinching portrayal of alcoholism, and it's just really difficult to sit with, but in a really effective way for the movie and for this character development. Robert Forster does a great job in this as well. He's got a couple funny lines, and pour one out for this being his final film. I think at least he went out on what we would consider to be a pretty solid film at the end of the day. It's just interesting. It's really interesting, very intriguing, solid Christmas winter horror flick, and it's a short watch too. It's like not even an hour and a half.
184, I think.
1 hour 25 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, just solid, man. Minimal critiques, but they could have left some more breadcrumbs along the way to give the audience the slightest chance to figure out who the killer is. But yeah, I love that they tricked me. I did not see the ending coming whatsoever. I mean, you just see this giant werewolf in multiple scenes throughout this movie. It's like, oh fuck, there just is a werewolf in this town. And that rug pull where it's like, no, it's just this crazy tall, insane man. I love that
taxidermist.
The town's taxidermist. I love that reveal. This is really interesting. Feels fresh and well done. So yeah, I'm sitting at a 4 as well on this one. We are in line. A straight up
simpatico.
Straight up 4.
This definitely ranks among the best werewolf movies. I'm looking at like American Werewolf in London, Ginger Snaps, The Howling, Wolfman, arguably Trick or Treat, even though that's not exclusive to werewolves. Like, there's really
it's top 10.
It's got to be top 10. Like the bar, the average is low. I would say for werewolf movies, it's lower than a lot of like the standard creatures, the vampires and stuff.
Yeah,
like it's not hard to find a bad werewolf movie, and it's quite hard to find a good one. And I think we found a good one.
Yeah, this is a good one. Definitely watch it. If you haven't and you listen to this, I'm sorry that we've spoiled it. You should have listened to me at the beginning of the show.
I told you.
We're just innocent men.
So yeah, that's a 4 from the Straight Chillin' Crew. Let's jump into our Rotten Tomatoes segment, see what the critics and users have to say.
Certified fresh to death.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these gents guess, within the best of their abilities, what the aggregate positive score is for The Wolf of Snow Hollow on RottenTomatoes.com. We're going to start, as we always do, with the critic reviews, or the tomatometer, of which there are 78, and then move on to the poopometer, or the users, which have 500 plus ratings. So, critics, tomatometer, 78 reviews. Let's start with Soju. Welcome back to Soju. You get first bite at the apple. What are you thinking? What percentage are positive?
Can you tell me one more time how many?
78.
Okay. That's kind of surprising, to be honest. It's a pretty solid sample size. Critics. I don't know. This is a hard one. It's weird because I feel like I just have never seen this movie ever talked about, really ever in any. So, but I don't know. I think the critics will appreciate what's going on here. Like what Bob said, smaller budget, really kind of getting the most out of it. Interesting style, but not in like a wacky kind of way. I think maybe we'll be men of the critics this week. I'll say 80, what we gave it. So 80.
Okay. 80 from Soju the man. Bob, where are you coming in at?
You know, that's kind of right where I was thinking. So I gotta take The Boys 86 Project. Let's roll.
They never let you
God,
down, Bob.
They never let
One
me
last
down.
disguise.
86, The Boys
By the way,
versus...
Project, I mean, we're past time now. I guess I should have said this a week or two ago, but Project 86 has a Christmas EP out there.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
So for next year,
One
hold on
last
to it.
Hold
Hold on to it. For
One
next year.
last Christmas.
One Christmas.
You got to make it rhyme. You got to do it.
You gotta force it to rhyme. Make it rhyme.
That was
All
rhyming
right.
with anything.
So one of you,
Yes, it is. You
one
gotta make it.
last Christmas.
Christmas.
What are we confused about
what's
here?
what's
We're
the
force
question?
fitting it.
What's the question?
That square can go into the round hole. It's fine. Let's see. One of you is just 4 percentage points away from the correct answer. The correct answer is 90%. Bob is walking this one home. This is certified fresh.
The boys never let me down. One last Christmas.
One last disguise.
We did it.
Last Christmas.
last Christmas.
We did it. The boys. We did it.
Boys, they did it for you, Bob.
Oh.
All right. Let's move over to our poopometer or our user review. There are over 500 ratings counted here. We're going to go in reverse order. Bob, out of those 500 plus ratings, what percentage would you wager the users gave this movie in terms of positive scores?
I do believe this is going to be pretty high. I don't think it's going to be quite as high as the critics. 90's up there. I don't think it'll be better than that. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm doubling down on the boys. Let me go 86 Project one more time, please.
Ooh.
Last disguise.
All right. One last Christmas.
Thank you. Yes.
Soju, hit me with your guess. What percentage are positive out of those 500 plus user ratings?
I actually think this is going to be significantly low. I mean, it's significant. I think it's going to be noticeably lower, not like 4
Hit us with that
lower.
like 35 real quick, Juice.
No, so I'll play it safe and I'll double down as well, but I think it'll be surprisingly lower than the critics. So 80 for me. I'll say 80.
Okay, so I was going to say,
I'll
by double down, you mean an 80. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. 16 percentage point difference. Soju's on the money with this one, or not on the money. He's closer.
Just closer.
This is a 64%.
Yeah.
Very much a middling score from the users on this one.
The boys. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, you know what? That's a classic.
Watch your profanity.
Skeet and hell ye.
There
That's-
it is.
If we got to close the year out with something, why not a skeet and eat?
Why not
We
a
gotta
classic
close it with
skeet?
something.
Something.
The critics' consensus reads as follows: The Wolf of Snow.
Got close, come.
Pause it with something. The critic consensus it reads as follows: The Wolf of Snow Hollow treads somewhat unsteadily between horror and comedy, but writer-director star Jim Cummings' unique sensibilities make for an oddly haunting hybrid. I think that's pretty much on the money for me.
Yeah, I'll take
seems-
it. Yeah, we've seen a lot.
I would
worse.
say, thinking about it even a little bit more, it's like I think maybe the comedy aspects were just throwing me quite a bit, and like because I wasn't clear how comedic they were supposed to be a lot of the time. So I eventually kind of like figured out the tone, I think, and it is whiplashy. That's part of it too. But
it is
the
like
comedy
a
aspects were.
black comedy for sure.
Yeah,
So,
I
like,
could do like if they stripped out 90% of the comedy and just left a few pieces of levity to break the tension, then I would be like right at home with this. But it's it's going for a little bit more humor than I would anticipate from such bleak material. Yeah. Interesting. Let's read a couple negative reviews while we got a chance, and then we'll move on. Let's see. A negative review. Here's one. Playing a violent, sexist cop for dark laughs is a questionable venture in 2020 when there's little to no real catharsis, only violence and self-pitying, brooding men. Is that a questionable venture? I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I think we get, I mean, they're not. I mean, you get the woman sheriff and you get the daughter.
Yeah,
You get a
this
lot of
guy's
female
like,
perspective.
I mean, I guess he finds out who the killer is, but like the woman saves it. Like he is about to die.
Yeah, and
you
ends
know?
up
Yeah, he very
as
much is
the
about to die.
sheriff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they don't really portray him as a hero, and he's an extremely flawed human. So.
Yeah, no, really, they just kind of shit all over him.
Oh, yeah. It's like
You're barely sure if you
no real
kind of are rooting
catharsis.
for
I
them.
don't know.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
not.
Julia.
Even
saves
these
his
negative
ass.
reviews are like that was that negative review was 2.5 out of 5, so not the worst review ever. And then the only other negative review I've scrolled up on here is a C plus. So even amongst negative reviews, not too terrible. It seems like, at least not that I've seen. So yeah, interesting. And the
Gotta beat
accusers
that drum,
disagree.
boys.
We're gonna be men of the critics on this one,
Gonna beat the drum.
Something.
or something.
Or something.
Bob, how's trivia looking this week?
Oh, hi. There's really not much trivia to speak of, so let's go ahead and talk about our Cooter of the Week.
Straight chillin'.
Cooter of
Juice, what is a Cooter and why do we hunt them?
Hello, Bob. Cooter's character type. Straight chillin'.
Exclusive.
Cooter has to hit 3 of these 5 points to be considered a cooter, but we want a cooter with the most points. 5 points of cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall looking attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, think we got some cooters this week.
Do we really?
Shall we start with
Our
Jim?
boy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
my
think
boy
we got
Jim.
to. My boy Jam.
All right, pathetic.
Slim Jim.
Yes.
Yeah, he's quite pathetic.
He's quite
Yes.
pathetic in a number of ways that we've already detailed. I don't think we need to even
Even when
question
he
that.
was like his line to when his dad is dead and he's been maced and he gets maced in the face and like his little mask and shit. He's like, I was protecting the family. It's
Family.
like, no, you
yeah.
weren't.
No, you were trying
You
to
weren't at
beat
all.
some
You were
kid's
beating up
ass.
a teenager,
Yeah, a teenager,
breaking and entering,
yeah.
pushing a mom aside so you
Who
can beat
your
up a
daughter
teenager.
or like
Was
Yeah.
just
Up with-
making out with. Yeah. Like,
for herself. Like it's just
Not a huge. Yeah. He's. Dude was about to beat a minor like in his bed, which is fucking
And even like,
insane.
and even if you just take him, yeah, he's a minor. There's also like
beat him.
beat him raw.
that's what he was gonna do. God damn.
In his bed.
All right.
Oh,
All right.
prison,
All right.
prison for all of us.
All right.
Rob mostly.
Mostly.
Mostly prison for Rob.
You.
Randy gets
What
a
was I-
little bit. I have no prison.
Oh,
All right, judge, jury, and executioner over. I get no prison.
No prison. For
I, of course,
sure.
you get that Trump pardon, of course.
Pathetic.
Oh,
He's
whoa,
pathetic.
whoa.
Smug arrogance. I think he's got smug arrogance down faux show.
Yeah.
The way he's firing people and like yelling at people what to do and shit. Sexual deviance. I don't think so.
I don't see much of that
Yeah.
action. Like he's not sexually driven really at all in this,
No.
as far as we can tell. Even like a lesser movie would have probably like hinted at a romance between him and Ricky Lindholm. They don't do that. Even like I think that's wise. There's enough going on. But he is a bit of a prick to like his ex-wife. He's neglectful of his daughter, obviously, but like romantically speaking, the only romantic partner we see him with is a woman that hates his guts, and it is mutual, and they just hate each other very verbally and very, very abusively, even at a fucking public diner. So not a good dude, but sexual deviance, I don't think I'd call it that.
Yeah, I don't think so. And looking at Tyre, he looks like a normal dude. I don't really think he's got that. So he's got 3 of the 5.
He does.
Which is enough.
Yeah.
That is enough to book him for sure. Let's also take a look at our boy, the taxidermist.
Yeah.
We don't know. Again, we don't know a lot about his motivations or anything, but like, yeah, he's cutting out vaginas and stuff. He's dressing up. So he's got sexual deviance.
Yeah.
He's got looking at Tyre, dudes going full wolf to make his killings. That's a choice. Arrogance, he invites the cop in and asks him about the case, and that's how he slips up, which is also a bit pathetic. I think this guy's hitting a lot of the points.
Yeah. And then we get him a little bit. He's sexual deviance, I think, is easy to give him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Patheticness. Looking at Tyre.
He's dressing up like a wolf, yeah. And walking around with a hunch when he's not.
Are you suggesting that a wolf costume for your murder spree is not a Cooter attire?
I mean, he did a good job with it now. He's a master taxidermist.
It is not about the taxidermist quality here.
Taxidermist.
The taxidermist.
I think he hits enough.
I think so. Yeah.
I think he hits
manipulation is the only one we haven't addressed, and I think. I mean,
well, he's dressing up like a wolf.
He's at that diner talking.
Well, also
to
too, if he frames somebody else,
that's true. If it is a frame job, then that's a clear choice.
Which seems like it kind of is.
They find a corpse in the dude's backyard. I mean,
I don't know how they would do that.
Had to have put it there. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's also like calmly talking to a future victim at a diner and her daughter. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, he kills a 3-year-old kid for crying out loud. Book him. Like, yeah, good lord.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a bigger Cooter than our
also
hero,
too,
which is saying a lot.
The only thing too is that kind of sucked, but like that woman had a gun. She just didn't
I guess she didn't hit him.
Yeah.
Or like she did. She shot at him, but it didn't take somehow.
He didn't take it. He refused to take the bullet.
I was like, I'm refusing the charges. Thank you.
No thanks. No thanks.
You keep those bullets, ma'am.
So Mr. Taxidermist hits higher than your boy Jim.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
There we go.
All right. Well, we got him. I don't think there's anybody else.
No, I don't.
Nobody else worth talking about. I don't
so.
think.
We got him. Book the taxidermist. Lock him up. They're waiting.
Got him.
Right.
We got his ass.
Boys, let's go ahead and make the librarian's year by ending with a little bit of what we've been watching this week.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Randizo, what you been watching?
Well, hello there. So I actually, for Christmas, went to a cabin with my family, and there was not much of a TV to speak of there. There was one that we managed to rig up to play It's a Wonderful Life, which is a must-see, and still one of my favorites. It's definitely one of my favorites of the holiday season. So I did watch that, but I didn't get to watch a whole lot of other Christmas movies since we last spoke. So I actually got probably a record low of Christmas films in this year just because of my busyness, which is a shame. But I did see a few more Bob's Burgers Christmas specials, which are always quality. Caught that on DirecTV, which I haven't watched anything with that many commercials in a long time. So thank you for that, DirecTV. And then the only other things I've been watching, I finished up the season of Pluribus, and I like that show a lot. Speaking of character studies, that's what it is in a lot of ways, and also a bit of a thinker in terms of the sci-fi aspect of it, giving you a lot to chew on, but very methodical, slow-paced show. Not a heavy action show at all. I have to stress that because people seem to be like pissed that it's not as action-packed as like Breaking Bad or something. It's just not, but it's great. I enjoy it a lot. Ray Seahorn is pretty fucking fabulous in this role. So I'm enjoying it. And then the last thing I'll mention is same as I've been mentioning, Hades 2. Still running through that shit. It's great. It's a great game. And I have to get to the true ending quickly because I also got the new Katamari game. I want to get into that shit soon.
Damn.
Yeah, that's it for me. Short list this year or this week rather.
All right, Juice, what you been watching?
Yeah, watch some of the classic Christmas stuff. Threw on Gremlins at one point. Elf, Harry Potter OG was on at one point. So, just going through the list. One new film that I did watch was One Battle After Another. So that new DiCaprio movie. Yeah, I know it was good, but I didn't really know anything about it. Just that it was getting a lot of praise this year. So threw that on. I think it was on HBO.
Yeah.
So watched that. And it was good. A little long in the tooth, as they say, but good.
They say that.
A lot of people say that.
We hear people saying that.
I hear them saying it, but in a different context.
I hear that phrase. The meaning lost in the shuffle a little bit.
Yes. The only other new kind of thing I've been watching is the newest season of Culinary Class Wars, which I was watching, and I hate this. I don't know why these streaming. Well, I do know why. It's money, of course, but it's Culinary Class Wars, but they release a certain amount of episodes, and I was watching it and going along, and then I hit a stopping point, and it was released on December 30th, and then there's one more episode to be released January 13th, and I was like, God damn it, no! But that's that Korean cooking show that blew up last year, and they're pretty much following the same kind of format this year, so far as I could get, at least. But yeah, it's still entertaining, but yeah, pretty much the same kind of thing. You have famous white chefs or chefs in white coats, and
damn, only the whites, please.
They're only Korean, actually. And then you have some kind of more, not amateur, but just not well-known chefs competing. So in the black coats. So yeah, entertaining. But that's it. That's all I've been watching. Bob, what you been watching, my guy?
Yeah, blasted through a couple classic Christmas movies, Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, Krampus. Some good stuff. Also, finally got around to watching The Life of Chuck, which is the newer Mike Flanagan movie that came out this past summer, and really thoroughly enjoyed that. It is based on a Stephen King book. It is not a horror movie at all. I guess more of a straight up drama with maybe some light kind of sci-fi-ish stuff happening.
All right.
It's great though. It kind of a non-linear story told in 3 acts. A different kind of movie for sure, but I loved it. So I very much recommend checking out The Life of Chuck if you haven't seen that one yet this year. Also been trying to watch, just a handful of horror movies that have been getting some talk, some newer releases from this year that have been getting some hype that maybe I haven't seen to prep for our top 10 of the year coming up in a few weeks. So I threw on a movie called Strange Harvest, which I think that was on Hulu, and it is a faux documentary about a serial killer. And it very much reminded me of just in any given serial killer documentary that you might watch on Netflix. But this is, it's a made up serial killer. And they're interviewing, the police officers that investigated the case and, people that were related to the victims or knew the victims and stuff like that. And they're going through all the different murders that took place. And it, has kind of a reveal at the end. And it was okay. It reminded me a lot of the Poughkeepsie tapes, actually. If you guys remember
the old Poops tapes.
The Poops tapes. Remember that one?
I remember those.
Similar kind of vibe. I also watched a movie called The Damned, which came out in January of this year. It was a theatrical release. Might have been the first horror movie released this year in theaters, if I recall correctly. And I actually really liked this one. It's an English language movie, but it is, I think, a Norwegian production. super small cast, really slow moving movie about an Icelandic fishing village, or well, it's a camp really. It's not a village, and there's like a kind of tragedy that happens, and the people that are living in the camp just have to deal with the fallout. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Very moody, tons of snow, big time winter vibes. So if you want to throw on a wintertime horror movie that's just kind of a slow mover, kind of vibey, throw on The Damned. And that was streaming somewhere, man. I don't remember. That might have also been on Hulu, perhaps. I think they both might be on Hulu. But yeah, that was solid. Check out The Damned. I recommend that one. And that's all I've been watching this week.
Bob, did you know that Life of Chuck was given the honor of number one worst movie of the year on Variety last week?
Oh.
Variety can eat my ass, dude.
Yeah, that seems to be the prevailing response to that. Is people are like, "What the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?"
if you've seen like 3 movies this year, maybe that's the worst one you saw. Like
War of the Worlds,
fuck
the
outta
all
here.
Zoom edition with with fucking who is it in this movie? Ice Cube is who's in this movie.
Yeah.
That was their number 3. So somehow that was supposed to be better than Life of Chuck.
So this is just like
Fuck off.
clickbait bullshit.
Fuck
That
off.
doesn't. Yeah, that's not a real art variety. Eat my ass variety.
Oh boy.
They will. For a price.
Gum my ass down
Whoa.
variety.
Whoa.
We don't have any voicemails this week, but we do have an email that a lovely listener sent over to us. We're going to go and read that. Juice, do you have that pulled up, sir?
I do. And apologies, this was sent December 5th, 2025.
We're behind.
Get a lot of spam mail. I'm not going to lie. So
Kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit.
there's a lot. But thank you for sending this. And we do eventually get to you. So feel free to send us emails. That's still okay. So Dave has this to say. Straight chillin' crew. I'm a bit introverted, so voicemail's not really my jam. Just wanted to say you guys do a great job, and according to Spotify, you are my most listened to podcast this year. Whoa.
Hey.
Yo, that's great. I'm catching up on older episodes while listening to your new stuff, so you are pretty much nonstop in my ear holes. P.S. Is there still an option to join the Slack? Oh, no. So I can comfortably watch the chat from the corner while trying to look cool. Yes, you can still join the Slack at any time. Bob, have you sent that?
I got to look. I might have. I don't remember, though. I'm going to look at our sent emails real quick.
Sorry,
if
buddy.
I
Sorry,
haven't.
Dave.
I might
So
have.
sorry.
I might have.
So he sent that through Patreon. That was a message sent through Patreon. I don't know. Yeah. It's got Patreon attached. It was through Patreon.
Okay.
So sorry, really, really, really sorry that took us so long to get to you, about 3 weeks. But hey, you know what? Better late than
We did
never,
it. Yeah. And we're closing out the year with it. This is our
highlighted.
Yeah. No voicemails, just one really, really nice email, man. Thanks so much for sending that over to us, all the kind words, and thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for listening to us, man.
Thanks
really
for listening
nice.
So much.
Yeah.
We've got a couple
Really great.
people
Thank
going
you.
through the old straight chilling journey this year.
Catalog.
Which is
Yeah,
nuts because the catalog is quite thick now.
deep. It's a deep catalog.
It's
Yeah.
thick, Bob. It's thick.
That alpha catalog.
Damn.
If you guys would like to call in, though, and leave a voicemail to be featured on our first episode of 2026.
Boys, this is going to be the best year of straight chilling yet.
Ooh, the boys are here to play. That's just what they
We're
say.
always here to play. 600 is going to be the best 100th episode.
Ever.
We've got big plans.
We got it planned, and it's going to be
We've got the
crazy.
biggest guests
chicken with it.
we've ever had coming on soon, and bonus content. That 200th mini episode is coming soon.
Yeah.
We got some big plan for that.
Oh my God.
Coming soon in a year. You'll get it.
So glad I'm hands off there.
Yeah, if you
I'm glad
guys,
Bob's handling all this.
can somebody record a minicast?
Really glad Bob's fine.
Bob's been killing it, really, you know. If you guys would like to call and leave a voicemail for next week, hit us up at 904-638-3231. We're going to be kicking the new year off with Stranger Things 5. We're going to be finally wrapping up this show. We're doing it.
I knew that that's what was happening, but it just didn't click in my mind like that's how we're kicking the year off.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know if that's a good sign or not.
I don't know either. We'll see how things play out, man.
All right, well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Oh my god, I can't wait!
Any prompts you guys want to throw out for next week?
What are you going to do in 2026?
2026.
Well, 2026.
Are you big into taxidermy?
I am
I'll assume.
quite big.
In the taxidermy realm?
Yes, but yeah, I don't know. What's your big plans for 2026?
What are you doing?
What do I call it? Just 20. What's your big plans for 26?
Resolution? Is that what you're looking for?
Give me your resolution.
You got any plans? Like, I don't know. You got anything already like in the works that's upcoming or looking forward to?
Have any crimes you're planning to commit? You want to detail
how
on
many-
our podcast?
Yeah.
You want to provide us with blackmail on you? Is that what you want
That's
to do?
fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
look,
that's
just
okay
hit
too.
us
If
up.
You want to play a little game?
You going to take up
That's all right.
taxidermy?
Oh, yeah.
That's your New Year's resolution.
Gonna get into
Any
it.
hobbies you're eyeing? And you know what? If you're thinking, like, oh, I have limited time, soju, which one should I pick? Should I do this? Should I do this? Which one should I pursue in 2026? We'll give advice,
Yeah, let us give you advice.
Yeah.
We're going to give you legal and financial advice here
Yeah.
on
Dating
Straight Chilling.
advice.
Yeah. Guaranteed.
How to be an alpha advice.
Look, all you have to do is provide us with some sensitive information, and we will tell you everything you need to know about your future.
Preferably
Yeah,
nudes.
the more sensitive, the better. The information.
Yeah, it has to be real sensitive. Or it
Real,
doesn't,
like
that's how the
like
magic
hella
happens.
ticklish information.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's-
yeah. Very
Like bank account
ticklish
information is good. Social security number good. Mother's
I
maiden
want the
name,
most
fine.
ticklish information you have.
The most ticklish information.
So sensitive.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
sure. Sure. Also, let us know what you got. What's your holiday haul? Did you get anything cool this holiday? And a more straightforward question.
Justin is losing his shit.
Justin is really
Bob
tripping.
is- Oh my god.
Oh my.
Oh, Bob, please don't start.
Please
Yeah.
don't start.
Yeah,
Bob,
call
with
in
your
and
ticklish
say-
information.
Say whatever the fuck. 904-638-3231.
Just call us.
We'll be back talking about Stranger Things 5 next week. Check it out or don't, but still listen to us.
Definitely listen to us.
Hope you guys have a very safe, fun, happy New Year's Eve. Hope nobody blew off any of their digits. Roll into the new year with all 10 of those fingers still finging. Yeah. And until next year, as always, everybody please keep chilling.
Werewolf for mitzvah.